Hey y'all, long time no see. I finally got my microphone repaired on my computer. But I just wanted to give y'all a little bit of insight and help on completing your algebra builders and your distributed property homework. So let's get into it. So we've gone over algebra builders 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 by now. We have been turning in the even numbers. So I'm going to go over the odd and then I'm going to show you what to do on the even side, which would be algebra builder 8. This is 7 right now. And then I'll show you what to do for the distributed property homework. So let's go. All right, so algebra 1 builder 7. It says identify the independent and dependent variables. So dependent is who depends on whom. This is the control, this is the dependent. The amount of time it takes you to get to work and how fast you drive your car. So one of these is controlled and one of them is not. I can control how fast I drive my car. I cannot control the amount of time that passes once I am driving. So how fast you drive controls the amount of time it takes to get there. Amount of time. All right, so here we're just doing some integer operations. This is negative 50 minus negative 10. This becomes positive. Negative 50 plus 10 is negative 40. This is negative 8 minus 1. It becomes more negative and becomes negative 9. Circle your answers. This is 50 divided by negative 10, which is negative 5. Let me see if I can focus my camera. Give me a little bit of light. That doesn't make much of a difference. 3c minus 13. So now we're working on some equations and expressions. So I have a value for c, so I'm going to plug it in there. This is 3 times 8 minus 13 plus 3. 3 times 8 is 24 minus 13 plus 3. 24 minus 13 is 11 plus 3, which equals 14. 6b minus 6b. Well, this ends up being, 0. Okay, I don't need to plug in that too. It's just nothing. 12a minus 6 plus 7a minus 2a. I like to combine my like terms so I can simplify this a little bit. So this is 12a plus 7a minus 2a. So 12 plus 7 is 19. Minus 2 is 17. So this is 17a minus 6. And 17 times 4 minus 6, I believe. Yeah. So that's 80 plus 34 plus 34. I'm sorry, 68. 68 minus 6 is 62. Excuse me. Here, I can put this right in my calculator, but this will be 6 times 0.5 plus 0.4, which would be 0.9, minus 0.75. So in my calculator, this would be 5.4 minus 0.75. This ends up being 4 and 65/100ths. All of this is going to go into Desmos because I don't want to work all of that out off the top of my head, and we have the ability to use a calculator. So let's go ahead and use it. Oops, I went to the classroom. I need Desmos. Graphing, yeah. So my problem is, let's minimize this. I like to put parentheses there, 6 to the 3rd. There we go. You see it right there? Minus 4 squared. Okay, all of that is going to be divided by 2 times 1, because that's 3 minus 2, close parentheses. Then all of that is going to be subtracted by 2 to the 4th power. And I'm going to get 84. Blam. All right, down here, this is domain and range. So this is what's new to algebra. We're still talking about functions. We're building upon functions now. We're not just identifying them, but we're actually operating with them. We're calling our linear relationships functions. We will also have some quadratic relationships moving on to Algebra 1 that are called functions. So it says identify the domain and range of the function. They give you the domain here. And then they tell you the function is y minus 2x equals 5. Well, I'm used to functions being in y equals mx plus b form, so I need to rewrite this. I'm going to move my 2x over here by adding it to both sides. So it'll be y equals 2x, because it's positive now, plus 5. Now, this is a linear relationship in mx plus b form, and I can easily identify my y-intercept and my slope. My slope is 2. My y-intercept is 5, or 0, 5, because that's a point on the graph where it crosses the y-axis. So I'm going to take my x values, since that's my domain, and I'm going to say -1, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. And then I'm going to plug my x values into this function. Well, a function means to work or to do something. So I'm inputting x, I'm getting out y. What's happening to my x here is it's being multiplied by 2 and added by 5. Order of operations tells me I have to multiply first, then add 5. If I say that my x is -2, then y is 2 times -2, because it's going in the place of x, little arrow, plus 5. 2 times -2 is -4, plus 5 is 1. If I say that my x is -1, I'm going to say y is 2 times -1 plus 5. This is -2 plus 5. That's basically saying 5 minus 2, which is 3. If I say that my x is 0, then y is 2 times 0 plus 5, which is 5. And then once I start plugging these in for my range, 1, 3, 5, I would hope that I start to notice that there's a pattern there, which is going to be my slope. If I rise 2, then I'm going to run 1. So this is more up 2, up 2, up 2, and up 2. So if x is 1, then y is 7. These are also coordinate points or coordinate pairs. If x is 2, then y is 9. Okay, so if I had a graph, I would run -2, jump 1, plot the point. I would run -1, jump 3, plot the point. You'll see that down here. So now I can write my range, because I couldn't do that earlier. Now I have it. It's 1, and sometimes you'll see it in these fancy braces. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Is this a function? Yes, none of these x values repeat, and it goes in a linear pattern. All right, here it says a number less than 12. That means I'm taking a number away, because it says a number less. So I'm going to say 12 minus a number. Over here it says 6 times the sum of a number and 1. That means my a number and 1 are getting added, but I'm also multiplying them both by 6. So I need some parentheses there, so that order of operations will tell me, oh, I need to find the sum first times 6. Okay. All right, down here, I've got my domain. Here's my function, y equals x plus 1. Here I'm just adding 1. I'm not multiplying anything by x, I'm just adding a 1. So if my x is 1, then my y is 1 plus 1, which is 2. If my x is 2, then my y is 2 plus 1, which is 3. If my x is 3, then my y is 3 plus 1, which is 4. And so on. They give me a domain of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you catch on, my slope is 1. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My slope is 1 because that's the coefficient, this invisible coefficient here of x. And then this is my b, which is my y-intercept, 0, 1. So I need to put that down here, 0, 1. And then this would just be if x was 4, and if x was 5. This is a show your work area. You're not necessarily getting graded on this. You are getting graded on this. This is so very important. And this one. I need you to know that you know how to find a slope and a y-intercept when you're given an equation. That's so important in algebra. All right, down here we got some distributive property, and we'll also have some combining of like terms. Check out my notes that I just posted on Google Classroom. They will help. Excuse me, so 17b minus, so this negative 3 gets multiplied by the 8b, and it gets multiplied by the negative 7. So I'm going to put minus 3 times 8b to break it down, minus 3 times negative 7. This becomes 17b, and this 3 gets multiplied by this 8, which becomes a 24b, minus 24b. And then this 3 gets multiplied by this negative 7, which becomes a negative 21. So this is minus negative 21. If you've been paying attention in class, I've been telling you, you cannot have this double negative. A double negative makes a positive, okay? So make sure that says plus, and then I will combine like terms. 17b minus 24b. These can be combined because these both have b's. This 21 must stay by itself. So it becomes 21, and then 17b minus 24b is negative 7b. And then there's my answer. Over here, I've got 4c minus 3 times 2c minus 3d. This 3 is going to get multiplied by everything in here. 4c minus 3 times 2c minus 3 times negative 3d minus 6d. This is a negative 3. This is a negative 6. This is a negative 3. Watch your signs or you can easily mess up. All right, so my 3 times 2 is going to be a 6c. So this is 4c minus 6c minus this double negative becomes positive. I like to do that sometimes too. That way I can get rid of my signs early. If I'm multiplying a negative by a negative, I get a positive. So this will be plus 3 times 3, 9d minus 6d. So then I can combine like terms. 4c minus 6c. 4 minus 6 is negative 2c. And then 9 minus 6 is 3. So this is plus 3d. And I am done here. On to the back until my time is up. So the only things that you will have to talk about here are speed and time. You need to choose who's independent and who's dependent. This can go directly in your calculator. Make sure that you're careful of your signs. This says negative 25 plus negative 6. This is not a multiplication problem. Down here, you're plugging in 5. This is 2 times 5 minus 12 plus 5. Then you calculate that. You need an answer here. Here I can combine like terms. 5b minus 3b. 5 minus 3 is just 2b. And then I need to multiply 2 by 6. So 2 times 6 equals, that should be easy. Here I'm combining more like terms. 10a plus 3a is 13a minus 2 is 11a minus 5. And then plug in 7. 11 times 7 minus 5. And then you'll find out what that one is. Here, calculator, Desmos, calculator, Desmos. Use regular parentheses here. That'll help the confusion with the brackets. Okay, I'm going to continue the rest on my next video.